Alright, the NFL draft is officially over, and now it's time to look how the different players fit with their new teams. We're going to start with Ethan Pocic, who was an offensive lineman the Seahawks drafted in the second round. At LSU, Pocic was their most versatile player by far. He mostly played at center, but he also played at left tackle, right tackle, and even started some games at right guard. In each of these positions, he excelled and used his large 6'6" body to keep defenders at bay. As a prospect, Pocic is technically sound and he's an aggressive blocker. Where he struggles is that he loses leverage due to his size and he has average at best functional strength. Overall, I give this pick a solid B+, and here's why. In pass protection, he engages well after the snap, using good hand technique and quick feet to mirror pass rushers, just like in this play versus Auburn. He has incredible size and is surprisingly athletic in space. He understands how to redirect punches, and when watching him, you get a good feeling that he understands the finer points of the game and that he has strong work ethic. In pass pro, one of the few places he struggles with is dealing with powerful nose tackles. While he has excellent vision and is very patient in his blocks, rarely ever lunging at his target, he doesn't have the core strength to fully anchor against bull rushes. Allowing interior pressure or getting pushed back into the pocket where it affects the quarterback was somewhat common in each of the games I watched. In this play in the Wisconsin match, he allows the defender to gain leverage underneath his shoulder pads, driving him backwards. He gets too tall in his stance, and this presents an issue, especially as an interior offensive lineman, where typically defenders will be shorter and stronger than him. Now technically, he only gave up one sack all season, but he does give up a fair number of pressures that affect the throwing lane for the quarterback. Later in this same Wisconsin game, he shows great hand technique to battle the defensive lineman backwards, not allowing him to fully disengage. He is the type of player you can simply trust that will never give up on a play, which is an incredible trait to have as an offensive lineman. In run blocking, he is a technique player who finishes blocks at the end of the whistle. He has a nastiness about him, and when I say this, I really do mean it. In the third quarter, the running back Linder is well past him escaping to the edge, but Pocic still finishes the block to the ground. Pocic is like the brother in your fraternity who you love because he will always have your back, but you know for a fact that every other fraternity out there hates seeing him show up to the party. Even when he gets tripped and completely misses like in this play, he turns back around and levels the defender with full force. His effort in the second level and his consistent desire to pick up and hit as many defenders as possible is extremely infectious. Earlier, we've kind of talked about him losing leverage at the point of attack, but this was definitely clear versus Alabama when LSU was smothered by their incredible front seven. He only has 33-inch arms, which is short for a man of his size. This allows defenders with longer arms to beat him with pure length. In this play, he allows 94 into his chest plate, which shuts down all possible cutback lanes. He can definitely get stood up by a strong interior push and needs to spend more time in the weight room. In the second quarter of the same match, he gets no push on number 69, especially when the defender can get access to his chest plate. Like I said earlier in this video, his versatility is one of his greatest assets. He did a good job playing multiple positions when he had to fill in for injuries. He actually started a full game at right tackle against Southern Mississippi, where he showed good hip fluidity and mirrored defenders well on the edge. Based on his experience, I still think he should start his career on the interior offensive line, but he definitely showed promise in space. Now NFL.com compared him to the Jaguars center Brandon Linder, and I couldn't agree more with this. They are both about the same size, and both are technically sound who finish their blocks with aggression. Pocic is slightly more athletic, but he's not as long nor as strong. The interesting question we have to ask is where we think Pocic will start next season. The Seahawks have Justin Britt at center, but he's entering the final year of his contract. Pocic would be a good replacement for him if they decide to let him walk. Now, the way I imagine things going is that Pocic will compete for the starting right guard or right tackle position with Jermaine Ifedi. Whoever is better between the two will play on the edge, while the other will play at the right guard position. This also kind of goes along with what Pete Carroll and John Snyder both claimed in their press conference. Overall, this was an excellent pick, and I fully get what the Seahawks front office saw in him. Alright, well that's all I have for you in this video. Later this week, we'll discuss the 3 quarterbacks that were taken in the first round of the draft, and needless to say, I'm a bit dumbfounded by the whole situation. As always, thank you for supporting my work on my Patreon account, and you can follow me on Twitter at SamNewYorkGold.